Hey guys, Megan here. Today we're going to be discussing what it looks like to be a good white ally who's in it for the long run, taking care of yourself, because depression and anxiety on a normal day can be overwhelming, but when you're trying to battle those mental illnesses in addition to, for possibly the first time in your entire life, learning what it means to be a good white ally, it can really start to be overwhelming and make it hard to function. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Real World with Megan, where we shine a light on mental health and the challenges we face in the real world. I'm Megan, and I'm so glad you're here. So today I wanted to speak specifically to my white followers. Those of you who, for the first time maybe in your entire lives, are starting to learn what it means to really be an ally for your Black brothers and sisters. Really what it means to be an ally to all of our brothers and sisters of color, but right now the Black community is in pain, they're calling out for justice, they're asking us to stand beside them, and they're the ones who really deserve and have been very patiently waiting for our time and attention. And now maybe it's the first time in your life that you're able to expend the energy to learn what it means to be an ally. You're reading the books, you're going to the protests, you're sharing the Facebook posts, and all of that is great. But you might be hitting the point, because it's been 2 to 3 weeks now since the first protest started in Minnesota, you might be hitting the point of empathy fatigue, which is something that happens when you just feel like you're taking on the pain of other people to the point of exhaustion of your own. Even if it's not something that originated with you, your experience isn't the one that is at the center of this, but the act of being there for someone else has started to really wear on you. So I wanted to make this video as an encouragement, a way to say, I see you, I recognize your exhaustion, I've been there before, but now is not the time to give up. So about a year and a half ago, my last really big, deep depressive episode, the one that finally got me to recognize I might have something going on that's a little bit deeper than just feeling sad sometimes, was when I was in a class for my counseling master's program, Multiculturalism in Counseling, and it was the first time that I really started not just to acknowledge that oppression exists, still exists, continues to exist, has never stopped existing, but the weight of it, the gravity of it, the sheer magnitude of the issue. And for the first time in my life, I really started to realize, oh my goodness, my friends, my family members, people that I love, my coworkers, strangers on the street, are living with this oppressive force all day, every day, and have been for generations. And the weight of that, the mental and emotional exertion that I put into trying to become a good white ally was so overwhelming that it sent me spiraling. So I've realized, I think we're at the point where a lot of people might be feeling that same exhaustion and starting to hit their breaking point. So I wanted to film this video as an encouragement to say, it's okay to take care of yourself. I think something that kept me from wanting to take a break, to take a step back, to practice self-care, was the reality that the ability to check out is a privilege. That it's something that white people are able to do, to say, I'm just not going to look at social media for a few days, I'm going to take a vacation, I'm going to pretend that the national conversation doesn't exist because it's so overwhelming that I can't handle it right now, so I'm just going to check out. That is a privilege of being white. We are able to check out, whereas our Black and brown and indigenous brothers and sisters live with that all day, every day, their entire lives. And that is a lot, and it's a lot to process and to recognize the differences between their lived experience and what you are able to step away from because you are a visitor to that experience. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't take that time to take care of yourself. So I'm going to encourage you to continue to do the hard work, to lean in, to read the books, go to the protests, share on Facebook, but also to take a few days to just recenter yourself, to re-energize, regain focus, because if you don't, if you try to power through that, the first warning signs of depression or anxiety that are starting to overwhelm everything that is in you right now, it is going to make it so much harder to get out of once that depressive season begins. And I say this because I was there and it lasted for months and it was a lot. But when you are able to instead take a step back, recenter, remember that you can't pour from an empty cup, then you're in a better place for the long game. Because right now, a lot's going on. There's a huge national conversation about this. Everyone's really fired up. But in a few weeks, in a few months, something else is going to be what everyone's really fired up about. And that's when the real work begins. This isn't something that's just, I go to a protest every day for 2 weeks, and then the hard part is over. Now it's on to someone else to really do the work of making change. I did my part. Nope, not how this works. Instead, what I'm encouraging you to do is to take care of yourself so that you can focus on this as the act of seeking justice, overcoming these oppressive systems, fighting for a more just and equitable world is a marathon, not a sprint. So you need to be able to make sure that your own mental health is taken care of so that you can be there for your brothers and sisters. And if you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to burn out really fast, and it's going to be really difficult for you to show up the next time that they need you to go to a protest, sign a petition, do whatever it takes to make sure that this long-lasting, true systemic change is possible. So I hope that's an encouragement to you. Stick with it. You're doing great. Remember these feelings, that overwhelming sense of despair that you've got right now when you're first recognizing how big this problem is. That is not unique to you. It's not something you should bring to your Black brothers and sisters and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now. Help me to work through it. But find another white ally friend that can help you process that, or even better, pay a counselor who is then a professional able to help you process all of these new feelings, find your place, help you establish your own white identity so that you can be the best possible ally. Battle on, stand firm, and remember, you are not in this alone.